This house believes that women who have experienced gender-based discrimination are justified in committing misandry. My name is DeLI Elizabeth from the affirmative side, and I'm actually here to affirm the motion. Now, who is a woman? A woman is a female adult. What is gender? Gender is the fact of being either male or female. And gender-based discrimination is the segregation of a person because of their gender. Now, when we come here to affirm this motion actually, because when these women experience gender-based discrimination and they do not hate these men, like these men totally get away with it, nothing is done about it, they just forgive and forget, this is not, their suffering and everything that they went through is actually going to be for nothing. We are not here standing to say that actually these women should hate men and beat them up or kill them or hang them, but we are actually saying that they should hate them and use this hatred towards a positive change, a change that is actually beneficial to even the women themselves. Now onto my first argument. These women that have experienced gender-based discrimination should hate men. This will help to fight gender-based violence, which is a form of gender-based discrimination. How would it help to fight gender-based violence? Now take for instance a woman that has experienced gender-based discrimination, say a woman that was raped. When this woman recovers from this situation and the woman simply forgives the man that did it, she will not have the zeal, she will not have something to push her to do something about it. She will forgive and the thing will stay there. Take for instance Oprah Winfrey. Now in a country like Uganda, where we have so many organizations that have come up to actually fight gender-based discrimination, when you consider a woman like Oprah Winfrey, she's not in Uganda, yes, but she is one of the founders of an organization which is called FIDA. That is an organization for women lawyers in Uganda. She's one of the founders, and in her interview with the BBC in a program called The She World, a program by the way which is also aimed at fighting gender-based discrimination, she said the reason as why she is so much into fighting gender-based discrimination and violence is because at the age of 16, she was also raped by her uncle. Now because of that experience that she went through, she got this hatred for men, but she did not use it in a bad way, but rather she used it to see that actually we fight the vice. And onto my second point, it promotes independence among the women. Now take for instance a woman, which is by the way happening in so many offices in Uganda. You will find that so many women, according to statistics, have gone to ask for jobs and have been demanded sex. They have been discriminated in so many. Some have been deemed not capable of doing these jobs just because they are women. And when they develop this hate for men, they actually do something about it. Now, a woman who hates a man because she was denied a job, because they asked for sex and she refused, that woman will develop into her mind that she may go and invent or create her own business. In a way, she will be getting independence from actually depending on the men who we understand are the major owners of actually the jobs in Uganda. So she will get that independence away from men, and she will not only get independence for herself, but she will also be able to employ so many other women who have been denied employment because they are women. Onto my third argument, women who have experienced gender-based violence should actually have this hatred for men because it is the only tool that they have to fight the vice itself. When a woman is discriminated just because she is a woman and she does not do anything about it, like I said, then her suffering was for nothing. But if she does something against, maybe if she goes on national television and actually says what happened, her now take for instance in a local newspaper, which is Kitende, there is a woman called Alex Cheptungui who was mistreated by the husband. The husband burns the woman actually with acid, and then she came up in this newspaper and talked about it. She informed so many people who are out there about the situation that she was passing through, and this, I believe, motivated so many girls who are out there just suffering maybe from the same situation, but just seated, not doing anything about it. It is her tool that she used to actually fight the vice itself. Because now for some girls that are out there that are scared, that do not want to say a thing but are actually oppressed, they sat and maybe when they saw the interview for this woman, they got motivated and said that if she did it, I can also do it.
1 minute.
Then the women that suffer gender-based discrimination are still justified in committing misandry because it can be used to, it is a check for men and their actions actually. When men see, when a man does something wrong to a woman and then this woman simply just forgives the man, does not show any form of resent or hatred towards the man, this man may think it is okay. I did it to her and she forgave me, so I can continue doing it and doing it again. But when these women come up and show this hatred, actually, it will help the men to check themselves. They will know that actually their actions, they will know that the actions are wrong and they will do something about it. They will change their ways. But when you just sit back, forgive them, don't do anything about it, then I believe the vice is going to continue, it's going to reproduce itself, and
Doreen, this examination is 1 minute.
This examination. So 4 minutes for speech. No, 4 minutes speech, no prep time. This examination 1 minute. Okay, please.
What's the problem that you are trying to overcome in this resolution?
gender-based discrimination.
Good. Can fire put out fire? Absolutely no, right? Fire can't put out fire. Except, do you believe that action is better than just words?
Yes.
Good. No. Is the community made up of only one person or very many people? Good. Now, should we hate all men just because of one man who committed a certain crime?
That man is a representative of so many men out there who do the same crime.
So you're going to hate all people just because of one person?
I'm not saying all people, I'm saying that men who actually carried out this gender-based discrimination, maybe in court of law.
Okay, can I proceed?
Good afternoon to you all, judges, all participants. I'm by the name of Aaron Mara, the facilitator. The affirmers come here, and first of all, they fail in their role of explaining the motion. She defines woman, she defines gender, she defines gender-based discrimination. She leaves the whole half of the other motion, which is supposed to be also concentrated on. She leaves the part of justification, she leaves the part of misandry. So what are you debating? What if she doesn't know what misandry is? What if she doesn't know what justification means? So, us as the negators, we are taking misandry as the pure act of disliking men. The misandry, we are taking misandry as the pure act of disliking men. Misandry involves hate speech, misandry involves mistrust, disrespect, and just having pure dislike of men. Now, the first negator, the first affirmer comes here and talks of the only tool. What? The only tool to fight discrimination is misandry. The only tool to fight discrimination is hating men. The only tool to fight the unfairness towards women, towards basing on gender, is hating them. So I ask myself, if I sit here in my house the whole day, I'm like, men are stupid, men are dogs, men are worthless, how am I contributing to the change how am I contributing to the reduction in the rate of gender-based discrimination? Yet I'm sitting in my house, despising this man, despising this guy, just because he raped me, and I'm doing it by hating him. I'm doing it by sitting in my house, saying all the negative things I can think of men. So that really isn't a solution to anything. And well, next, she accepts the fact that gender-based discrimination is a problem. She accepts also that fire cannot put out fire. So by hating this man, you're contributing to nothing. You're going towards nothing. You have no point of concentration by hating this man. Yet you have a problem that you want to solve, which is gender-based discrimination. So instead of hating this man, and you're here to tell us that the only tool to solve this problem of gender-based discrimination is misandry, instead of hating them, sitting in your house all day despising them, take them to the authorities, take them to the rehabilitation centers. Instead of hating them, call those human rights resource officers and tell them that this guy raped me, this guy raped me, this guy defiled me, this guy did this and that to me. Not just sit there and hate, because that will literally do nothing. Now, they asked you, do you believe that if one man has raped you, the whole community has raped you? No, of course. If I raped you, it's not my dad that raped you. It's not my neighbor that raped you. I'm the one. Come and blame me. Don't generalize that all men are problem. All men have raped you. No, only one guy, one person who probably was under the influence of drugs. That man was an alcoholic. That man was not in his right sense of mind, and he raped you. So you come here and say that the president is a rapist. The prime minister is a rapist. My father is a rapist. Just because there's that village guy who found me walking at night and he raped me. No, that's not how it works. And then also still, you're generalizing all men. But then, there are these men who fight for your rights. There are these lawyers that tell you that this is not, like there are those lawyers that actually take care of you. There are those lawyers that fight for your rights. There are those lawyers that are on your side. And those lawyers are men. That it's not like they also raped you. Because you're here telling us that all men, I feel all men are worthless because they raped you and all men discriminate against you based on your gender. And then you come and say, change. How will there be change yet you're just there thinking of how worthless, how the worst of kind this man is? How, I guess, there is no way misandry will lead to any change of any form, of which the change cannot solve the problem of gender-based discrimination. So my next negator will come and talk about the part of moral decay and how and why misandry can never be a solution to gender-based discrimination.
The type of judges, the two antagonistic bodies and the audience present are good evening. From the negative side, the Honorable said that he talked about the point of change. Not so? But the way you explained it or brought it out, it was like you're supporting it to be on your side. I would like to ask you a question. I am raped, ill-treated, meant to go through all kinds of mistreatments. Do you expect of me to love that aside?
Instead of hating him, taking
It's a yes or no. Do you expect me to love that aside?
It depends.
Does that prove to you that misandry is the right way to deal with?
It doesn't deal with change. It doesn't deal with gender-based discrimination.
You also say
resolved, as today's motion says, this House believes that women who have experienced gender-based discrimination are justified in committing misandry. As the formative side, 100% this is right. My name is Nicholas King Shashaton. As we have heard from the first speaker from the negator's side, he was clear that these women should say nothing. And these women should keep quiet because they should not hate men, they should love them. I want to pose a question, which we may even fail to answer, that if I love someone, because they are advocating for loving these men actually who have done wrong, can I take that person to court of law? He is a provider of the family, let me say, one example. So how will I take a man that has mistreated me to court of law? If I love him, I must generate hate for that person. And, got us right, we are not saying that we should hate men and hurt them and cause harm to them. But we are saying that we should hate these men and actually do something about it. We are giving methods how we should do it. We are saying that we should protect our fellow women through bringing up organizations, like organizations that, as my first speaker gave an example of Oprah Winfrey, an organization that she created. It protects women. She did this because she had a background of the gender-based violence. She hated the background of being violated by a man. So she did this. I want to continue and say, we do not say that we should hate men and treat them badly too. But we are saying that we should hate men and actually do something about it. I've already stated this, but I want to restate it. I will continue. We do not generalize hating men. We do not generalize hating men, but we should hate men who have carried out gender-based discrimination. So we are not hating all men. Quote us right. We are not hating all men, but rather we are hating those that have done something wrong to us. We are hating those men, so we are taking them to courts of law to create more protection to ourselves, to get justice, to be justified. That's how misandry is bringing justice to women that have experienced such catastrophes. I want to continue and tell you why these members are wrong. I want to affirm my point and continue saying that when women hate men, they get the courage to speak out. They get the courage to say, look, we have had enough. These men that do these acts, not all, but those that do these acts should be acted upon. These men that do these acts should be acted upon. They continue to bring awareness to courts of law, to the civil society, to tell them that, look, the laws are weak. The effectiveness or implementation of these laws is also weak. The civil society should rather implement them further. The police should work harder than it is, because it's continuing to happen. The courts of law should bring justice to these women. They are saying that we need justice. So they are bringing alertness to the community, to the civil society. They are bringing alertness to the men. This was also stated by pre-current speaker, but I want to restate it. They are bringing justice. They are bringing alertness or awareness to the men that, look, what you're doing is wrong to us. Because if a man beats me up and I stay loving that man, he will think it's okay. Let me continue beating her. I want to give an example. In Kitende, 18 November 2021, a woman was burnt in her own house by a man. If she doesn't hate that man, what will happen? I am leaving you with that in mind as I stop here.
A farmer come here and talk that and talk of justice and justification. Do you know the difference between justice and justification?
Yes.
Is justification related to justice?
Yes.
Does misandry protect women?
Yes. In a sense that they use it to protect themselves.
How many men do you think rape women on a daily basis?
According to a report given to the police, over 10,000 women are raped each day. This was given to the police on the year 2021.
Can't trust that. So, do you believe that action is better than words? I know you didn't mention it in your speech. So. Do you believe that action is better than words?
Yes.
Instead of mere hating, do you think that instead of just sitting there and hating the men, do you think that it does not? Do you think that this hatred of men, do you think that it solves the problem of gender-based discrimination?
I think that we hate an act.
So when your teammate is here answering questions, you know why you're supposed to be involved.
This house believes that women who have experienced gender-based discrimination are justified in committing misandry. First, the farmers come and tell us what we shall get after these women have committed misandry, but they don't tell us why they are justified in committing misandry. Not just that, they said that misandry pushes women to work harder. That means, in their definition of the resolution, they actually support misandry, because if they are supporting women, that means for women to work harder, for women to get the push to work, they first need misandry. That means they are not here to tell us why women are justified, but they are rather here to tell us that we need misandry in order for women to get involvement. We need misandry in order for women to work harder. So by that, I think that they do not even understand what we are here to negate and affirm with this resolution. They said that misandry does not generalize men. But they don't stop there. They give examples of Oprah Winfrey, and that is why I phrase a question. How many men sinned against Oprah? And how many men are being hated because of her words today? Because of the organizations that she has empowered, we see so many men being discriminated. We see men being put to shame because of one person, Oprah. And they come and say, it does not generalize. We told them that violence does not solve violence, and hate does not drive out hate. By bringing out these women to tell society what they have gone through, how they have been raped and molested, you're degrading them. Even their child will grow up knowing I'm a bastard because my mom was only raped for me to be given birth. We are not here to give why women are justified. We are here to negate it. We are here to say that these women are not justified in committing misandry. Why? They are not justified because by putting to shame one man, or if I grow up and I know my mom hates my dad, where will I get the discouragement? I also come and abuse my dad simply because I had a mother. If I see my neighbor insulting their husband, I also do it in future because I saw what people do. If these organizations come out and they put to shame men, they ashame men, they embarrass the men, because he could say the person who raped me was dark-skinned. Next day here, all dark-skinned men are rapists. Is it necessarily true? No. We are not here to say that they should not raise their voices, but you do not have the power to do so. There are much better ways of putting out your point. And this is why I brought the suggestion of you can go, you can take them to courts, you can complain to the courts. You are not justice. You are not the justice. You're not the person who determines who is guilty or not. Take them to court, and if you win the case, you're innocent and they're guilty. But by coming out to hate all men because of one person, community does not comprise of only one man. There are so many other men. But if I grow up knowing my dad harasses my mom, and my mom comes out, by putting me to shame, what do you gain? Nothing. You embarrass yourself. You prove to women that we as girls, we are weaker. Because you have the right to fight back. Go to court and prove to be the bigger man.
Thank you.
Further, proceed with
When a man rapes a woman and he is taken to police, only him, does it mean that there are no other men who rape and are not taken to police?
If you are not kept quiet in the first place, and
Yes
taken
or
the
no?
person who raped you to court,
Yes
you
or
also
no?
get justice.
When women form an organization to fight for their rights, is it violence? Yes or no?
It depends on the way you're
Yes
listening
or
today.
no? Is it violence? Yes or no?
I'll reply when you give me time to reply to your questions.
Are we saying that misandry should be directed towards men or towards men who have actually committed? Are we saying that misandry should be directed towards men or towards men that have carried out gender-based discrimination?
By carrying out misandry, you generalize.
I'm not talking about generalizing. Let me rephrase my question. Is it in what we have said, are we actually saying that this misandry, this hatred for men, are we saying that it should be directed towards all men or towards men that have carried out gender-based discrimination?
And in what we get, we told you it generalizes.
no pretend.
It's part of the speech.
Once again, the table of the judges, the two antagonistic bodies and the audience present are good evening. First of all, I would like to let this side get to know that hating a person doesn't mean you inflict pain, but it means that you develop other measures, other protective ways onto which you can safeguard yourself from what? Actually, but it simply means that you become more protective to yourself. You're just becoming more protective to yourself because of what you went through, because of what you experienced, because of the ill treatments that person made you go through. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to inflict pain on that person. So with that, I would like to begin by looking at the flash points. We said that women have experienced gender-based discrimination. We said that women who have experienced gender-based discrimination are justified in committing misandry due to the fact that it acts as a tool. Due to the fact that it acts as a tool for fighting against the vice. Yes, it acts as a tool. She mentioned, okay, to not bring about that fact, but I would also like to bring out this recently on Bukede TV, if you people do watch news. It was on 18th November 2021. A woman was burnt by the husband using acid. When that thing, actually she lost the breasts, all her face was distracted. When that thing was shown to the public, what did it imply to the public? It implied that due to that woman learned that she has to become more protective. She will not hate that person because we haven't seen anywhere that she inflicted pain onto that person who caused it. But we believe, as my team, we believe that she is now more protective towards herself. But they say that women who have experienced gender-based discrimination are justified in committing adultery due to the fact that violence does not solve violence. I would like to ask you a question. If violence does not solve violence, if you read very well the Bible, when the devil wanted to take God's power, did he forgive him despite the fact that God called him? Then how do you expect a woman to forgive the man who has inflicted pain on her? Not forgiving that person in form of causing an injustice, but in form of becoming more protective to that person. Then we also say that women who have experienced gender-based discrimination are justified in committing misandry due to the fact that it can act as a motivation to the public. I didn't hear any other point that you brought out to justify that they should not carry out misandry. We also said that because you people were more based on violence, you looked at an action. Actions are better than words. What shows? What measures did you base on to say that? Did you mention that? I didn't hear it. The judges will clarify on that and my fellow members. Then, we said that women who have experienced gender-based discrimination are justified in committing misandry due to the fact that it enables men to check on themselves. Then you came up and said that when women carry out misandry, when women who have gone under based discrimination are justified in committing misandry, it brings about embarrassment. That's wrong. And with that, I would like to call upon you to come onto this side and we support the women to carry out misandry because it is important. It enables them to protect themselves.
This house believes that women are justified in committing misery. Now, first of all, one man said that actually not all wounds are physical. There are worse wounds than those you see. There are wounds in the heart. Now, for today's resolution, we are being majorly clashing, first of all, to the resolution, the role that they should play. Now, the resolution is this house believes that women are justified in committing misery. The debate in between us should be, are they justified or not? Is it a yes or no? Actually, they don't answer the setting up organizations. They go on and talk about creating independence for the women. Now, we continued asking them, is this the why or the how? is this the reason why women are justified so that they can set up organization? Actually, no. Now, the only point that they gave us was so disappointing. They gave us their own reason as why they tell us that women will work harder. Now, our second speaker asked them a question. So you mean that this misandry is actually needed so that as men practice those acts, for you to work harder, those acts should be carried out. They totally went away with it and didn't say anything. Now they go on and try to confuse us, saying that actually they are not going to inflict pain on the people. Now, and then they go on to defend it. They go on and say that actually they are going to deal with only the men that have committed those crimes. Very good. Now they give us a very good example of Winfrey Oprah. Now this Winfrey Oprah was raped by one man, not the whole community. We all agree to that. Now, what did she do? She went on TV. Now, going on TV, was she actually attending to this one man? What is the outcome of that? All men were hated. All men. Our second speaker actually told you that actually this time some men are being hated. They are seen as people who commit these acts that are wrong. Now, is that inflicting pain to one person? No. Now, inflicting pain, you're talking of wounds. We are talking here, as I already told you, that not all wounds are physical. There are wounds at the heart, and some of those wounds are worse than what you expect. Now, they go on and they come on and say that actually they are going to hate men that only practice that crimes. But I've already given you a good example of Oprah, that she is actually affecting very many men, not only the man who raped her. They go on and say that hate men and they're going to do something about it. Now, actually they're not answering our question of why. You know, you're answering the question of how. You get? Now, they go on and come up with a major excuse that actually they're going to hate men so that they can set up organizations like Winfrey Oprah. We are surprised. Is that the reason why you are justified in hating, or it is actually what you should do? That's not the reason as why you are justified. You should come and tell us that because of the gender discrimination that is there, the women are justified because of this and this, not because they are just. Because there is gender discrimination, we are going to do this and that. Now they go on and talk of actually women will work harder. We are surprised. So misandry should continue so that women should work harder. Absolutely no. On that we take the side. Now they go on and say that actually they go on and give a very good example of Winfrey Oprah, whereby all the cases are against them. Now, they go on and tell us that actually we are basing on violence, we are not giving them alternative. I think they have not been clearly listening. Our first and second speaker clearly said that these women are not actually justified. And why do we say that actually they are not justified? According to what they said, they give very good views. They told you that actually it's not good to generalize. If you're raped by one person, it doesn't mean that you're going to hate all people. I asked them a question, is the community made up of one person? They said no. I asked them a second question, is the community made up of many people? They said right. Then we went on and said, is it right to hate many people because of one? The first speaker says no. The first speaker accepts it. To that, and then the second speaker submits contradiction. So actually, you did not do your burden of showing us why you are saying yes.
Thank you very much.